This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun, but the real star of today's show is Team Redline driver Olli Pahkala. And if you don't know Olli, he is one of the most interesting characters in all of sim racing, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him. Olli, welcome to the show today. Thank you so much for joining us.
YOLO, thanks for having me.
I have wanted to talk to you. You know, we humans, we tend to find people, we put them in we become fans because they're the people we want to hang out with. And after spending a week in Vegas and seeing all the drivers, Formula E or sim racers, you were the guy that just, if there was a guy that I could share a drink with, if there was a guy who I wanted to hang out with, it was you, Olli Pahkala. And that's why I asked you here today. You always seem to be a smiling, happy guy.
Yeah, it's like not like in general the Finns, if you know any other Finns.
It's just
I must be some sort of Swedish guy or whatever, you know.
You're a hybrid of Finnish-Swedish? Now, all I really know about you is that you like vodka, you like sausages, and you're one of the best sim racers on earth. What more should we know about you?
I don't know. Recently I've been keen to my mustaches, but other than that it's quite general stuff.
Now, are you looking for that perfect mustache combo? Or are you still feeling it out, or?
Yeah. Needs to grow a bit. I'm looking for like this year this year it's Finland's 100-year birthday. So do you happen to know Keke Rosberg?
I do.
I see. So as you see, I'm giving something back to Finland and honoring Keke with this mustaches.
Very cool. Very cool. So, beyond sim racing, what other kind of hobbies or interests do you have?
Well, recently it has been only mostly sim racing, and yeah, as you know, when you do championships like iRacing World Championship and Blancpain GT and going to Vegas and stuff like that, there's not much other hobbies. Jogging, vodka, and you know, just the basic stuff.
So vodka's not just a like, it's a hobby.
For us Finns, it's much fun.
All right, well, let's talk about the Drivers' World Championship a little bit. Actually, before we even get to that, you're on Team Redline. And I think hands down, Redline is the biggest, baddest sim racing team on earth. What's it like? What's it like sharing a team with some of those guys, some amazing drivers out there?
Yeah, obviously it's quite nice, and the guys are so talented, and it works both ways. I mean, like I've been now driving. This is the third year. Sorry, with for example Gregor, and as you know, he's like the alien of aliens, and when you prepare for a race and Gregor shows up and he's half second faster than you, it's like, okay, now I need to start working like a maniac to catch him, and it's really nice, and all the guys, all the persons, you know, Dom, Enzo, Bono, Alex, everybody's they're cool and social guys. So we're having so much fun every time we do racing, and yeah, Vegas was interesting trip with me.
It was a trip seeing almost your entire team there in Vegas. Even Christian showed up, and Atsi. I mean, even the guys who weren't in the event. Was that your first time getting a chance to meet a lot of those guys?
Yeah, most of them. I mean, like some of them I met in Sim Racing Expo. I've been there about 2 years now. So obviously I saw some of them earlier, but for example Enzo I saw first time, Christian and the guys, and yeah, it's always so different to meet, you know, person in person rather than just being online and team speak during the race kind of stuff, you know.
Sure.
They're really cool.
Now, in the Drivers' World Championship, you got a team behind you. You're running against and with Gregor. What do you do to prepare for a race each week going into that?
Yeah, it's most of the races we have 2 weeks time of preparation. So yeah, normal work days, which after you have 4 to 6 hours of free time, depending on how tired you are after work, and yeah, a couple of hours. And the first week I start preparation. It's mainly to do the basics and get the fuel consumption strategy going on, consistency, and yeah, closer the race we go start hot lapping and qualifying, which is always important. It's difficult to overtake, even though there's ERS and DRS and everything, but the level of competition is so high that you need to be super precise with everything just to have even a chance to win. It's quite cool, and so it's a long process every single race.
How much time do you think you put in for a week for each race?
For each race, it depends really, but I would say 1 to 3 hours per night, and during the weekend when you have more free time, it's 2 to 4 hours. So we are going around 20, maybe 30 if situation is bad and you need to improve a lot. But yeah, it varies a bit. That some of the cases you have like blank paint GT between the 2 weeks, so then you have only 1 week and you really need to spank yourself to get the results done. But it's a lot of hours.
And do you guys, in general, Redline, do you guys train together, or are you guys all doing your own thing and then just showing up to the race?
We work together. I mean, like obviously, when some of the guys are living in the US and in Finland, and some of the guys have yeah, working night shifts and early shifts and whatever. So there are times when you cannot practice together, but we share all the information together, and we push each other, even though we might not be in same session. So it's rather working together, and yeah, during the race day, then it's all about how you perform as a driver, but all the prep is together, of course.
And how difficult is it switching from the GT class back to the GP, and then back to the GT, and then back to the Formula One? Is that difficult to switch?
No. I mean, like when once you're used to the cars and used to different style of driving, it's just matter of 1 or 2 hours. You get used to it, and then you're pretty much set and start working. It's racing and driving is the same. You need to just adapt in the different things. And
Now, is that also true when you switch over to a different sim, like switching over to R Factor 2?
yeah, I would say like I was when we talk about the Road to Vegas qualification series, I was expecting that the RF2 FSR guys would own us like bosses, but yeah, we did quite well. So it's just a matter of adapting in the end, and the logic is the same though some sims might not lock up your tires that much, and some sims do, and you need to try different things, and then it starts working. In the end, it's all the same.
Now, in the end, for this Visa Vegas race and running R Factor 2, Redline managed to get 5 drivers out of the top 10 in the entire world in this event. It's almost like you guys came into this with some kind of military type strategy that we Redline are going to own this competition. Was there any official plan, or did the cream just rise to the top?
Well, I've been working for the military, so there has been obviously background. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, like we pushed a lot. We pushed together. We shared all the information, and obviously there's a lot of talent and a lot of work as well involved, and the level of competition was high. So we knew that 1 million prize pool. So this is a good opportunity, and let's do it together and push it and get 5 out of 10 into there. It was massive team effort as well. I mean, quite phenomenal. And Dom loved it quite well.
I bet. Dom looked like he was on cloud 9 running around with you guys. And you showed up with an entire entourage.
Yeah. Dom and Atse had a fun week as well.
It sure seemed that way. So let's talk a little bit about this. I mean, this was the biggest prize in sim racing history. Gosh, I mean, just appearing and getting the 20,000 was the biggest prize in sim racing history. Do you think that an event like this really changes the future of sim racing?
Yeah, I think it opened up quite a lot of eyes to sim racers and non-sim racers as well, and all of the audiences, because racing it's really much the same as in real life, and when it comes to sim racing, you can do it like with a fraction amount of money. Just buy a wheel and you can have it with the console or PC or whatever, and there you see it in the TV that guys are doing that and making tons of money and whatever. So it's obviously leverage is huge, and for sim races eyes, I think yeah, 2016 actually with the Finnish Sim Racing Association, we organized our first live Finnish championship, massive event. Obviously not that much of a money, but it was huge, and that event showed me that the when you go live, it's so much different, and you have the emotion and everything together. So I would say that the future of sim racing will see much more this kind of events. I mean, like if you crash, you're not shouting to a monitor, you're shouting guy next to you, and have a little wrestle and whatever.
Sure. Or even having the webcams. I remember when the iRacing did the pro race, the guys who were running at CXC Simulations all had a webcam, and the guys at Race Spot were able to pull up the live camera of the guy driving, and I thought that's real. You know that, and at this event, you guys all had webcams at you, and the broadcast was when you were racing. We were looking at the big screen, seeing you racing. You know, and
That's cool.
it was really, it was much more interactive than what we're accustomed to living in our worlds of team speak or voice chat only.
Yeah, exactly, and it's also pre and after race as a racer and as a fan to get to watch it and be well. You were there live. You know how it's like to be in an event like that, and it's so different world. I mean, like if you win a iRacing World Championship, then you take off your headphones and you ending up, hey, there's me and vodka bottle, but yeah, in Vegas there are hundreds of fans and spectators and everything. It's a bit different and really cool. I would love to see that kind of stuff more, and I'm expecting that even this year we will have much more events like that.
Yeah, it was an incredible thing. So when I first got there, it was the morning of final practice, qualifying in the race. And when I looked around at you guys, 9 of the 10 of you guys, Enzo looked all right. 8.5 of the guys looked like they were just chewing their nails off and they were losing their minds, kind of thing. Um, Enzo's being pretty cheerful, Enzo kind of guy. And then there's Ollie, and I look over, and you have this ear-to-ear grin. You're walking high. You're having fun with the whole thing. Do you think that you did better than the other guys emotionally, just keeping it all together? I mean, everyone else really did look like they were kind of a mess after practice.
Yeah, well, it's really hard to say because we didn't discuss about it with the other guys, and eventually those mental stuff it's personal. But I can say that I have an experience from real racing, and in working life I've been a air traffic controller and dealt a lot with the high stress situation and whatever, so I already knew before the event that whatever comes, you need to enjoy it and have fun and whatever, and that's what I did, and I'm glad it's it because I had so much good time, and it was good not to focus on only about race and 200k whatever, but it was so cool, and yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Obviously it's I might have got a little bit of advantage of my experience, but yeah, I don't know, it was fun.
Now, after practice, it was a really mixed grid. And I mean, I talking to Dom, I talked to Alex of Apex, and it's like, wait, what's going on here? We're supposed to be completely dominating. Now, you guys only had what 45 minutes of total track time at that point. How is it that you guys went from who knows who's going to win to 10 minutes later, you guys were 9 of the top 10 in qualifying?
Yeah, I think there was if you talk talking about the overall results of the practice, it was built up in a way that us sim racers started off with the clean green track, and then we built the track for real racers, and then the real racers built up more track, and on Friday it was locked and mixed, and only 15 minutes of I mean, like it was really interesting, and I remember I was like B9 or whatever on the Saturday first practice, and I was like, I know I can improve, but it was really tense and nice to go to the qualifying because nobody really knew what's gonna happen, and I think at that point then. Hard to say what happened with the real racers, but I think Bono said one time that us sim racers are used to do the one lap kind of in the simulator, and in the real life it's a bit different. So
Right.
so we got an edge, I think, over that, and
Yeah, you guys could have been pushing extremely hard to find the edge during practice, but then you took it down to that I'm going to nail one good lap in qualifying, and being that you guys do this all the time, you were able to do it with perfection, basically.
yeah, exactly, and there was like for real racers it's totally new environment as well. So even though they were fast in practice, they had the chance to crash and get a new car and go back and whatever, but in qualifying it's qualifying, you need to perform and do it, and I think we were much more used to the situation and the simulation and stuff like that, and it ended up like that. But I think the real racers did really well. I mean, Felix P2 even in qualifying. That's amazing.
Felix blew my mind, actually, and we're going to get to him in just 1 second. So the event itself, mixed results on how it actually played out, and I even gave him a little bit of a hard time, and thinking back, I think things went better overall than the perceptions. But the race itself had the glitch, so I just want to know from you, at what moment, you were in a battle with some other guys. When you hit that button, did you just leave them behind? Was that just the end of the battle of the guys who were running 4th, 5th, and 6th? I know Graham and Greco and Alexi all had that incident. But were you already gone at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I had no clue about what was happening, during the pit stop. I knew that I'm gonna be the first one out of top 7, top 8 who's gonna pit, and I was like, I'm gonna do the fan boost and undercut those guys. The train was so slow, and I wanted to do the fastest lap as well, and I mean, like I did like five laps and didn't know what else was going on. Enzo pitted after me, and I was in front of him, and I was like, okay, that's cool. At least didn't lose any spots, and I just afterwards saw that the guys did that crash. It was nasty and massive, but I think in the end stuff like that happen, and it's racing.
It's racing. It was a total racing incident, and when you have that much on the line, you can't expect people to be any nicer.
Yeah, exactly, and it should be like that. I mean, like racing should be tough, and there's a lot of money involved. So that's I think for racers as well as the spectators, it's quite cool that it's not only hot lapping. That's just mixed stuff, and stuff happens. So.
Right.
But in terms of fan boost, I pushed the button once, and there it was. It was on the rest of the race, and I was like, what I gonna do? Yeah, I noticed. When I was doing the first lap with the fan boost, I hit some debris in that first chicane. I think it was after the guy's crash, and I started spinning massively. I thought that okay, cold tires. Oh no, I might not get the fastest lap. And then I was like every corner doing like all sideways, and I was like this. So maybe my car is broken. And then I started seeing my lap times were like 26s, and something's not right. And I tried to figure out what's going on. And yeah, there was nothing I could do, and yeah, I thought I just finish and hope that I won't get disqualified or anything, because I was running a great race though, even though there was a hashtag fan boost, but
Yeah. Hashtag kill fan boost. Um, so from the audience perspective, the race finished. You were the winner, Bono, Felix, and then there was like this huge delay. And so we're out there. The announcers they called your name, and like minutes are going by, and it's like this awkward feeling, like what's going on? Like there's no reason. Like I did the math, and I'm like, I don't know how Ollie made up that much time, but there's no reason to suspect anything either. So they call you out. What was going on backstage at that moment?
yeah, it was quite tight situation over there. So obviously, first thing what I did after the race was I told Bono and Felix that, hey guys, don't worry, something's wrong, and I told Bono that you're gonna be eventually a winner, so take it calm. Bono was a bit emotional at that time, but which was nice, and yeah, Felix was quite calm. I went to the officials and said that, hey, there's something's wrong, and they started doing the math, and yeah, after that we went to the backstage and waited the decision, and yeah, when the officials are doing the math, it's not like da 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 and stuff like that. They had to calculate, and yeah, eventually they had to. There was like this woman who was responsible of organizing us into the stage, and then there was one official saying that no, don't go now anywhere, and whatever, it was quite tense, but yeah, eventually we went out there with the original spots, and it was nice to hold the be in the highest place, but yeah, then the Bono got eventually the trophy. Yeah, it's okay.
That's quite a testament to your quality of character, though. I mean, whether it would have been found out or not, who knows? But the fact that you were the first one to really go to Bono and say, no problem, or big problem, that's amazing. I mean, you knew a lot of money was being taken from your pocket, essentially, at that moment in time.
Yeah, no, well, first you give 100K to Bono and 50K for Felix, so it's obviously a few years of a salary, but for me it was, even though the money is not important for me it's the end result. It needs to be fair, and if something like that happens, I would known to the rest of my life that I cheated and got 200K or whatever, and not my thing, so needs to be fair.
But not everybody would have done that. Or a lot of people would have hoped that nobody thought anything, and it just went away.
Yeah.
I saw you up on the podium, so Bono's next to you, and my God, I've never seen somebody look so angry for winning 50,000 and holding a trophy. And I watched you nudge him. You were trying to get him. Come on, just smile. Just enjoy the moment a little bit. That was pretty fun. How the heck did this Felix guy run at that level?
I don't know. I mean, I know that Felix has done sim races quite a lot. Well, not like last year. He had quite busy season with every kind of stuff. But I've gave him few tips about how to do it, and I helped him, both Nick and Felix. But I think eventually he is used to the hardware, like he has been running with the similar hardware whenever he does sim racing, and he's been in this kind of events as well already, in, for example, that race room racing experience. Mercedes DGM race, which was really huge and nice race. So Felix has the experience, and I think it helped a lot him, and I'm really glad Felix did well, because that shows that it's not like only gamers will do good. The real racers are the logic of racing is similar, and even though there's no G forces, it's the same methods how you are fast. It applies to both ways. So
I completely agree, and I think that if they were to redo this event next year, that you guys will have a tougher fight because more of them will spend a little more time in the sim rigs, and with their driving abilities, they just need the time in the rigs, and you guys will be, it'll be a very cutthroat race.
yeah, exactly. And I talked to quite a lot of guys there, and they already said that okay, as soon as they announce stuff like this, they will purchase everything, and
I bet.
yeah.
What kind of equipment do you run normally?
So I have a Fanatec hardware. Obviously, I'm working for Fanatec nowadays as a project manager. So guys are helping me and I'm helping them. And at the moment, I have a Clubspot wheelbase V2 with the Formula rim and BMW rim with some shifter, handbrake, Clubspot pedals V3 with damper and brake performance kit, and I just love the hardware. Obviously, and I'm working for Fanatec, and Fanatec sponsors Redline, so people think that this is an advertisement. But there's no need for me to go other brand or buy a Bodnar because of DD, whatever. I love the hardware what I have, and yeah, I think results shows that this is working.
Yeah, it gets the job done, that's for sure. So, you've mentioned Finland a couple of times, and I'm thinking, here's Finland, this little tiny country, and I look at racing worldwide, and per capita, I can't think of a country that produces more great drivers, both simulation and real life. So my question is, what do they put in the water in Finland?
I think I answered that question earlier already.
The vodka?
Yeah, something like that.
No, what is it? Is driving something that is really important, like in the family? What is it that makes Finland produce so many great drivers? There's got to be something, that just makes it part of the culture, perhaps.
Yeah. That could be many things, and you're not the first one actually who has asked this question though. But in the end, I think it's Finland is a little country, and especially in the 80s, 90s, early 20s, it's like there's not that much of buses or anything, so people are driving either way, and cold, dark winters, very slippery. And the racing culture and actually the competition culture in the end as well is in Finland, it's quite tough. So people are used to competition, and driving wise, there's a lot of tarmac tracks, go-kart is highly popular, stuff like that, and people, the car is common, so I think it must be something.
I just picture like maybe the mom. She's got Sparkos in the back seat with 4-belt harnesses and going to the market with the kids in the back. She's rallying it to the market or something. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Well, mostly moms don't drive, so it's always the dad going sideways every place. So mom's like, "Don't kill us again."
All right, Olli. So I want to bring this to a close. So I guess the next thing I'd really want to know is, what do you think that we can expect from you in 2017?
Well, we are gonna do the iRacing World Championship and Blancpain GT. So we're aiming for the victory, of course, and need to improve from last 3 years. So P3 3 years, whatever. So maybe I will try to get the P2 at least, or stuff like that. Yeah. So a lot of changes in the life as well. So I just moved to Germany to work in Fanatec, and now I have a bit more free time to use for sim racing, and a lot of cool stuff coming up. Sim Expo, International Sim Racing Federation, Finnish Sim Racing Association stuff. So we'll.
Yeah, you're the president of that as well.
Yeah, I've been running those for a couple of years. Now we are founding out the federation as well, and yeah, things are gonna grow, and yeah, hopefully there will gonna be just waiting announcements for some live events from other FIA or whatever. I don't know if they're gonna arrange it or not, but let's hope. And
I
for sure I'm
certainly.
gonna push. For sure I'm gonna push there and yeah, try to be on the top as well there.
Yeah.
Now you talked about the beard and mustache, and I know you're in Germany working at Fanatic. You're not going to grow a Thomas Bavarian giant beard, are you?
I think I don't have the ability to do that. I'm blonde Finnish, so it more or less it's gonna be like this and whatever, you know. So
All right.
I think Thomas handles that side of well, so I focus on the dirty mustache.
So this year Gregor didn't win, and with him being such a dominant driver, when he doesn't win, the first thing that occurs to me is, well, what happened? What went wrong? Do you think that, I mean, I know Martin Kroenke really stepped it up this year. Do you think you guys putting a lot of effort into getting $1 million, which is a very worthy cause, do you think that played any role going down the stretch in the?
Yeah. I think in the end it was about preparation as well. Martin didn't run Blancpain GT, and he focused and he put a lot of effort into the World Championship of iRacing and yeah, and ended up in P1 as well as we tried to do both series and I think came up in top. I don't think Gregor has lost any pace in the end, even though he's getting older and stuff like that. But it was just a matter of prioritization, or what's the word? Yeah, we've learned from it, and let's hope our new plans work next year a bit better. Oh, sorry, this year.
Well, I think this year is going to be even more competitive. You guys have a lot of talent in there, and it just seems that each year that the gap from the back of the grid to the front of the grid is starting to narrow.
Yeah, and which is nice. I think more and more there's coming up really great drivers. Not only Bono and Freak this year got the WCS license, but you have a Mac and a lot of good guys from Apex Academy and Apex, and kudos to everyone else as well who got the license. So the guys are really fast, and the grids are getting so close. So I think it's what series needs really good competition, especially for the top, and I'm sure this year we're gonna get it.
Right.
All right, so last question, then I will wrap this up. So you did win $50,000, which is not chump change at all. That's a good amount of money. That's a living for a lot of people.
Well, it's okay.
What'd you do with the money? What are you going to do with the money?
I don't know. Well, maybe. Well, we had a nice weekend there after the Vegas, and we'll see then what's gonna do with the rest of the money. I don't know. Maybe invest something, and yeah. But I still have my 900 eyes up, so I don't know if I'm gonna buy at least a new car or.
You don't need a car or anything like that. So, does an event like this lead to real life opportunities for you?
I'm not sure. I don't think it will as an event will bring me any opportunities to go, hey, let's do a series or whatever. There's much more needed to end up in a real racing car as well. So it's not that black and white, unfortunately. But yeah, of course, with the 50K you can buy a seat or invest in or own or team race car and
but then the money's gone overnight that way.
yeah, but this is what it is. Yeah, but yeah, no real racing for me, at least for this time by, and we'll see in the future. But I don't mind. I've been doing real racing when I was younger, and now I'm enjoying a lot sim racing and working for all the communities and people and stuff like that. So it's not my end game where I need to be, like some or most of the guys want to end up in a real racing car eventually. So
Yeah.
Well, Ollie, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Gotta love the mustache. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, and have a great spring.
You too, and good luck next year in the championship and in the endurance series, and hopefully in the next visa race if they do it again.
See ya next time.
So there you have it, Olli Pahkala of Team Redline, not only one of the greatest sim racers on earth, but one of the most quality human beings you're going to find out there. He was the first one to go to the judges and say, hey, something's wrong. Guy basically gave away $160,000 on the spot, doing the right thing, and I hope all of us would think we'd do the same thing if we were in his shoes. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.